This episode of Cigars with Lucky is sponsored by Sensual Scents by Paris. These sustainable handcrafted cocoa soy candles and soy wax melts create a sexy, serene, and peaceful ambiance, perfect for any occasion. They're now offering fall scents like pumpkin and apple spice. Sensual Scents by Paris brings you products that are better for the environment and pleasurable to the senses. Sensual Scents by Paris. Check them out online at sensualscentsbyparis.com and of course on social media at Sensual Scents by Paris. Hello to all my sisters and brothers of the Leaf. I want to welcome you to another episode of Cigars with Lucky. We are in Annapolis, Maryland, and we are visiting Vitola121 Cigars, another Black-owned lounge. And we're going to sit and chat with Steve A. Burch. Don't forget the A, he's the owner. And we've got a cigar influencer. So we're going to pick her brain. We have cigargodkai in the building, and we're going to get some information, get the scoop on what's going on with the two of them. And we're going to have a good time. My sisters and brothers of the Leaf, I want to welcome you to another episode of Cigars with Lucky. I am here in Annapolis at Vitola121 with one of my favorite cigar lounge owners, Steve A. Burch. Don't forget the A.
Good day.
What up, Steve?
How are you?
Good. Thank you so
Good
much for having me. Good to see you always.
Wonderful.
So, tell me about Steve A. Burch. Who is Steve A. Burch? I want to know your cigar story. How did we get started? How did we get here?
How did we get here? So, my cigar story is that a co-worker, when I was working in Virginia, I was working in IT project management in Virginia, a co-worker of mine named Ron was having a rough day. And so he said, I'm going up the street to get me a cigar. You want to go? I'm like, wow, I guess. I never smoked a cigar before. And then we go into it was a little tobacco shop up there that sold mostly cigarettes, but they sold cigars and stuff like that, premium cigars. And my first cigar was a CAO Brazilian. So it was super strong because it was my first cigar, and that's kind of what I thought cigars were. So I was like, I don't know if I like this.
Right.
Because it was with me like 2 days later. So, and that's basically it. I mean, it's very simple. Wasn't nothing extravagant about that story, but it was my introduction to cigars. But then after that, I started trying other things. And then I opened up a restaurant in DC, and there was a cigar shop around the corner called Capitol Hill Premium. Shout out to Chip and Capitol Hill Premium from back in the day off of Florida Avenue. But yeah, and that was it. And I started doing events there. Those were my first events, and those events went great, and it kind of morphed into all the stuff you see me doing in DC and all over the place. So
you're a tobacconist?
Yes.
How long ago did that come about?
That came about probably about 3 years ago when I was working at Monte Cristo. It's pseudo one of their requirements, but not. It doesn't really have to be a requirement. Right. Most of them are not tobacconists. But they do offer you that opportunity to have you take the tests and be a tobacconist over Tobacco University.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. Right, pretty cool. And you learn a lot. It's mostly, the tobacconist thing is mostly about history and about the construction and everything about cigars. Not all like the nuanced stuff that we worry about, but it's mostly a lot of history stuff. where they came from, the Taino Indians, and how it morphed into Europe, and how it became full circle. So, yeah.
Nice. So now we are at Vitola121.
Yes.
And we're open, what, 2 years? 1.5?
Almost 2. So
Almost
we're about 1.5, a little bit over 1.5 now. We opened in April last year. And we've been kicking butt ever since.
I know. So, is it true that y'all are the only lounge in Maryland that has the chandeliers?
I hope so. I hope so. I don't know for a fact because I haven't been to all of them, especially some of the new ones. Shout out to them. But yeah, so the chandelier was like, as soon as I walked in here, I'm like, I'm putting a chandelier in.
Yeah.
And both locations, and I think my partners were kind of like, chandelier? But they end up liking it, yeah.
It's a good look. It goes nice.
Well, yeah. They always tend to tell me I have ability to visualize stuff before I install it. And then when I install it, they go, oh yeah, now I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, because you did a lot of this yourself, right?
Yeah, most of the construction I did myself, yeah.
You did a great job. It looks
Thank you,
really good.
thank you so much.
We love coming into the lounge and hanging with you.
Well, we love having you.
So Annapolis is, you get a lot of tourists, right? Because
Mostly.
Yeah, so you have a good set of good regulars that come through here, but a lot of the business that we do here is from the tourists, from the people coming out of town, because you have the naval base right here, that's the school.
Yep, so you got the Naval Academy here, and then you also have St. John's College, which is on the other side. Both of those places garner a lot of people coming into town over weekends for football games, for lacrosse games. I saw like 100 cheerleaders out here the other day. It's just a lot of stuff going on. And they do something pretty much in the summertime, almost once or twice a month around here. So you'll have a football game, and then there are boat shows coming up in October. They have 2 boat shows every year, one in April and one in October. April is a small boat show. And October is the big one where they have, it's just like almost a week straight of nothing but boat show. Then in a couple of days is the power boat show, and then the next is a sailboat show. So. And then we participate in that stuff too.
I was gonna say, do you guys do stuff with some of the things that they have going on here?
So
tell me about that.
The Bourbon Blazers and Cigars was an event that, if I got the story right, that a gentleman that used to own one of the Porsche dealerships out here started. He started it, and then eventually he didn't want to do it anymore, and so the historic Annapolis picked up the event, and they keep doing it at the William Packer House. So we're going to do that on the 29th. Of this month, actually the next coming Thursday. So.
Yes, I was there with you last year.
Yeah, you were.
We had a ball.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a very good time.
Looking forward to it this year. So what else does Vitola have going on coming up?
So coming up on the 28th, we got the Smoke on the Water event at the Fleet Reserve. That is going to be incredible. That's a rooftop venue. I cut a deal with Oliva. I'm able to give each individual who buys a ticket 6 cigars.
Ooh.
Normally you go to an event, you might get 1 or 2.
Yes.
You don't get 6. So 6 cigars, you get a steak or a seafood dinner. You also, the first drink is on me too. So.
And this is on the 28th. That's what, Wednesday?
That's Wednesday coming up,
okay.
yeah. That's unprecedented as far as giveaways for that. There's only been a couple other events that I know that they give you that much stuff. And it's well worth the money that you pay. So it's good. Hopefully that'll go on, and I'll continue to do that annually. That's the goal, is to do that annually.
That sounds like an awesome event. So how can we find Vitola?
So website, social media, everything is www.vitola121.com. All the social media is Vitola121 or at Vitola121. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I think the Twitter is the only one that's Vitola121 Cigars.
Okay.
Because it was Vitola121 on Twitter already. So, but other than that, yeah. So that, and then don't forget Steveaburch.
Don't forget the A. Got it.
Exactly. So.
And so y'all gotta come check out Vitola121. They have so much going on. Every month y'all have quite a few things that they're very involved in the community. And just it's a nice atmosphere, kind of luxe, real comfy and chill when you come in here. It's no hoop. We come in to chill and smoke. So.
Well, that's what it's all about.
all my sisters and brothers of the Leaf. I want to welcome you to another episode of Cigars with Lucky. I have the pleasure today, we are at Vitola121 in Annapolis, and I absolutely have the pleasure of sitting with cigar god Kai, cigar goddess Kai. Hey Kai.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good,
Good. So this is our first time meeting, so I'm like super excited that you're here.
You know what it is. We done talk so much on the internet.
We talk so much on the internet, on the phone. So it's really good meeting you. Thank you for coming all the way out here.
For inviting me.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. You got me here on the early Saturday morning, so that means I love you.
Well, thank you. So Kai is the founder of ASR, Access Smoke Room, and DMV Cigar Week. So how's your journey been? Tell me about your story. What's your cigar story? How did it all get started? How did we get here?
It's definitely been a journey.
Yes.
When I first started, I definitely did not see myself here. But it's becoming, I just been on for the ride. I started ASR in 2019 with a ex of mine. We started doing events. We did events in Philly and Charlotte, and then I was like, hey, we should do an event in DC. I was a brand ambassador for Philly Cigar Week, which I was like, hey, maybe we should do a cigar week in DC. So I did DMV Cigar Week. Our first year was 7 days worth of events, and I was tired by day 2. I was so tired, but we had a good time. This year, I was more selective on the kind of events that I did. So Monday, we did like a cigar bar crawl at Petworth and Ladies First, which is a women-owned new cigar bar in Clinton. Tuesday, we had an event with the PCA. So PCA is partnered with My Cigar Week, so they'll be doing events with us annually. We had like sort of like a town hall where businesses can come and talk to them and talk about what they were experiencing as far as getting their business on a level ground in this area. Wednesday, what did we do? We did cigar education with Damon from Charlotte Cigar Week. So we had like a cigar tasting, which was really fun at Veteran Cigar Club. Thursday, we did a Cigars in the City, and we did Cigars and Salsa at 12 after 12. Friday, we had a Moulin Rouge theme event at the Gathering Spot in DC. I think that was the funnest event I've ever been to. We had so much fun. Saturday, we had a cigar smoke nick. It was like a cigar picnic. And then at the Sandlot in Georgetown. And then Sunday, we had like a brunch at the Privileged Cigar Lounge in Waldorf.
Yeah. Y'all were busy.
We were busy.
Yes.
We were busy.
Yes.
I was tired.
So how was like the support from the community for DMV Cigar Week?
It's been great. This year, I definitely put a lot more thought into the kind of events that I did, and I did give support. I did get quality audience members, and like the PCA event was good. I did wish more people took part in that, but we have more things coming, and maybe people understand like what I'm trying to do now.
Yeah. I appreciate that. What is one of the challenges, or some of the challenges, because we briefly talked about this. What are some challenges that you have overcome as a woman in this male-dominated industry?
Just being more assertive, not being afraid to ask or do what I want.
Yeah. When you walk into a cigar lounge, what's the vibe you get?
So when I first started going to cigar lounges, I would go and just get my little cigar and go in the corner. Now when I walk in, I usually see, people that everybody. So I usually even if I go alone, I usually see somebody I know and wind up talking to them. It's always great walking to a cigar bar and people, know who you are, or just want to come and talk and get to know you.
I have to say, proper cigar, I guess we don't want to say cigar lounge etiquette is that when you walk into a cigar lounge, you make your rounds to speak to everybody who you know, and who supports you, and just people who are appreciative that you're there to smoke with them.
Right.
They look at like us as cigar influencers and like local celebrities, and it's like so surreal. Like I'm no celebrity.
It's taken me a lot because I'm an introvert, extrovert. So online I appear to be always out and all that, but I really like being home on TikTok.
I do too. Do you get anxiety when you walk into the lounge?
It's always a little bit of excitement, a little bit of nervousness. When people recognize you, and in my head I'm like, oh, trying to remember where I know you from.
Yes.
I know your face.
Yes.
I went to Miami and I went to Empire Cigar Lounge there. When I walked in, the manager already knew who I was, and I've never been there. I've been there one time before, but never seen him. So that was surreal. So I'm just taking a lot to get used to.
Yeah, we're not celebrities.
I definitely don't see myself as a celebrity at all.
I don't feel so. I get a lot of anxiety walking into a full lounge, and I usually go with my sister.
Aww.
And she knows I'm like a crab. Like, I just want to find my seat and sit down and hide from everybody and smoke my stick. But
that is me.
let me go make my rounds and say hello while my hand's still shaking. Like,
right. So when I do events, one of my friends always come with me because they already know I'm full of anxiety.
I am. It's crazy.
I definitely get it.
So what are some other things that you have coming up?
I am putting together an event in Miami for December for Art Basel. And then I have a couple of things that I'm working on for the springtime.
What's your go-to? I asked someone else this question and she was like, the humidor. I was like, that is so perfect. So what is your go-to stick? Like, when you come into lunch, like, what do you prefer? Sweet, bold, mild? Let's start there.
It just depends on how I'm feeling that day. Right now, my go-to stick is the Fat Bottom Betty. So I kind of just like, hey, do you have that? Other than that, it's probably Monte Cristo, any white series.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right now. Yeah, that's it.
What was your first cigar?
The Acid cigar.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, okay. That's cool.
So you like milder, sweeter sticks?
I like mild. Sometimes if I know we'll be drinking, I'll get something sweet. Yeah.
What kind of advice can you give to other women, influencers, or we're just breaking into the industry? What can you tell them? What can you share? How can you encourage them?
So I get this question a lot, and I never mind answering. I would just say, don't be afraid to ask for what you want. Don't be afraid to do what you want. I never saw myself being a founder of a cigar week at all. And it's something that I've grown to like, and it's growing. I didn't see none of this coming. I just was, taking photos, going to cigar lounges when I first started, and it just kind of blew up. But yeah, I would say just if you're scared, do it.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
You just gotta jump out there. I literally went door knocking when I first started.
Yep,
and I was like, can I have an event here? Can I have an event here? Can I do an event here? Do y'all allow smoking? I literally went door knocking for like the first year and a half.
Yep.
So I definitely understand.
You have to do it. You have to put yourself out there. Like I said, I'm naturally an introvert, but I have to make myself meet people and ask questions.
Yeah.
Do interviews.
It's easy when you're sweet,
Right.
Like, you don't have like this super strong, crazy personality. You're so sweet and meek and mild.
Thank you.
Anything else you can share with us, or that you'd like to share with the ladies?
Sure. Stay tuned with Cigars with Lucky. She's gonna be doing big things. Hopefully I will be back.
Yes.
And stay tuned to follow us on ASR Cigar on Instagram and cigargodkai on Instagram.
What lounge can we find you at? What's your home lounge like? Where do you? I know you're everywhere. I'm everywhere too, but
it's usually TG's.
Really?
I usually go there like on a late night. I'm already out, so I'll meet my friends there. I go to Privilege because it's right up the street.
Okay.
And I Filion occasionally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all heard that, right? You can catch her at a Filion, TG, and Privilege.
Oh, and of course Petworth.
And of
That's
course
my
Petworth.
favorite.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Kai.
Thank you.
I so appreciate you making the journey all the way out here.
It's all right. I had to check on Vitola anyway.
Good. Yeah. You got to come when they're doing some good things.
Absolutely.
They're out in the community for sure. So.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Love what you're doing. Please keep doing it.
I will.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So, cigargodkai, you can check her out on Instagram and Facebook.
Yep.
Instagram and Facebook. Hit her up. She does events. She does private events. She does big events. Cigar influencer. Thank you guys for watching.